Hello. I've been collecting leaves the last couple of afternoons. So I've got about 6 cubic meters in here. There's room for more, and I've got a tree surgeon bringing some more later today. So I'll fill these bins, and that one is just for storage at the moment. So I'll put some stalks and things to rot down. I can put a bit more in here. He's coming in about 3 or 4 hours. He only let me know yesterday evening. So I've got to get this sorted sharpish. I'll not record anything step by step. I'll just do it when it's done. Yesterday it was raining, and I was rushing to get it done before the heavy rains came, so I didn't record what I'd done at the end of the day. But I've got all the leaves in here now, so this is fairly full. There's a bit less at this end because as I was putting it in, I was pushing it to the back, and by the time I finished, it's not quite as tall at this end, but that's all right. And it's all tied off now till April, and then I'll open it up and it'll go on the potatoes. So that's the 8-meter bin. I put some of this fencing over on top of it, obviously to stop the leaves blowing about, and next to it I've got the 4 square meter compost bay, and put some of the leaves in there. And when I cut the hedges and things, they're going to go on top of this. And there's some leaves in the car park which I'm going to bring in now and add to the top of this. So this will be almost full in a few days. This is the last bag of leaves that I collected. So I've left them in the bag. I'll either add them to the compost or add them to the leaves whenever I feel like, because these leaves will settle a bit. This wheelie bin here was leaves I collected last year, which I didn't use because I didn't do the beds here last year. So I've got that as well. So I've got plenty of leaves to go around. Got plenty of leaves to go around. So the next job is to collect the leaves from the chippings bay and add them to this compost bin. Hello. The wind's just picked up. The minute I pick up the camera, the wind picks up. Well, we've had snow and ice the last few days, and it's been freezing cold, and the ground was covered in snow, so I couldn't get here. And you know, I couldn't do much anyway. But that's as far as I got on filling this compost bay. This one was filled up to the top of those plastic boards, so that's just the weight of the snow has pushed it down that much. So I'll empty this bag that was left over into here. And I brought a load of leaves, green leaves. Most of them were leaves, but some of them that were closer to the tree were more like this. That's not a problem. I'll deal with that when I sift this out. I can deal with those. That's not a problem. I don't want that to be all the same thing, so I'm going to mix in a little bit of dry leaves, autumn leaves, and then I'm going to add the privet cuttings on top of this. So I'm going to say that's done as much as possible. I'm going to add another one here, so it's going to be a 3 meter long by 1 meter. Because of the apple tree, I can't come too far this way, so it'll be 1 meter by 3 meters. What will happen in future years is this one in the corner, which is a 4 meter by 2 meter bed, will hold the autumn leaves, and then they'll go onto the potato beds, and some will go to mulching things like leeks and things, and there'll be a little bit left at the bottom, and that will rot down a little bit over the course of the year. In the autumn, when I harvest the potatoes, I will put the leaves that are on top of the potatoes and whatever's in here into here, so that this will be ready for the new leaves in autumn, and this will have year-old leaves in it, and they can sit there and rot down, and then I can just add it to the compost or mulch things with it, because after 2 years it will be pretty well broken down. It won't be fully broken down leaf mould, but that's all right, that'll do. So today I've got to sort this lot out, move them out of the way, and put the other in here, and then I can put some more leaves in there, because that area, because of the neighbour's tall things, there's no way I can grow anything in there anyway. And there's an apple tree here, and there's an apple tree here. I know they're not very good apple trees, but I might get rid of them. I keep saying I'll get rid of them every year, and then I don't. I see them in the spring full of blossoms and I think, oh, that looks nice. And then I get apples and I think, that looks nice. And then the rats eat the apples. But I've tried the apples off this tree and they're not very nice. So unless I can find somebody who can use it for things like apple jelly or apple jam or something, I don't think they're much good. So I'm going to clear this lot out, get that out of the way. And under here there's a lot of brambles like this, but I've tried and they're impossible to dig out. And I can't burn them obviously because the neighbour's got plastic barrels and things on the other side, so obviously that's not possible. So these are about 1.30 meters, these black netting. So if they've got to come up through that and it's covered in rotting leaves, the base will eventually rot over the next 2 or 3 years, and it'll save me digging them out because they're impossible. It's all rocks and carpet here. Rocks like that, rocks and carpet and things, so it's horrible. So I'll get on with that and bring it back when it's done. Right, now that the bits of wood and things have been shifted, I can see what's underneath it. So that's the corner of the leaf mould bin. So it's going to come up to 3 meters, so it's going to come up to about there. Got bits of bramble there. I've got this huge horrible thing. It's actually planted on my side, but it's weaving out of that fencing, and the neighbours put that fencing in, so I'm not going to mess with that. So what I'll do is I'll cut this bit, and that will cut off this bit anyway, but it starts on this side, goes up and then goes through to the other side. So I'm going to cut it there, that'll get rid of that. This other big piece, I'm going to cut it there, and that should be able to get it out. So if I cut that off, take this bit out, take that bit out, that'll get rid of this. But the other one is obviously on her side, so I can prune it. It's not going to interfere with the leaf mould bin, so I'm going to leave it, because obviously what it'll do is shade out the bins, so that's not a problem. It'll shade out this tree, but this tree's no good anyway, I think. I will definitely get rid of it this year. Despite what Karen says, she keeps saying, oh look, it's so pretty, look at these flowers, but yeah, doesn't produce decent apples, it's got to go. So I'm going to cut those down, cut this stuff out, and quite handily I've got the burn pile here, so not far to throw it. So that's the next stage, do that, but I think it's lunch first. Well, it's been a cold frosty morning, but I managed to clear the stuff the other day, but it was getting dark by the time I finished, so I didn't record what I'd done. So I've cleared all this area, and since then a load of wood chips has arrived in the car park. So I'm going to put a layer of wood chips down, and then I can put the leaves and privet cuttings and things on top of that. So my plan for this morning was to come in and build the other bay for the compost / leaf mould. But when I got here, there was the wood chips, and then there was some doors that had arrived. So I grabbed these two. This one at the back will replace this. It's just a little bit wider than this, but I'll just shave a bit off, or I'm going to sort these uprights up anyway, so I can do something about that. So that's one though, because this thing is on its last leg. It's been on its last leg since I got this plot 5 years ago. And when it hasn't fallen down yet. And this narrow door is 60 centimeters wide, which can replace the shed door, because this is 63 centimeters, but then it's got all these tatty old supports and things in the frame. You know, it's all, you know, this is all hanging by one screw, I think. These are going to be replaced anyway, so I'll figure out some way of sorting this door out. And this is a bit shorter, so I'll have to cut the height a little bit. But at least I've got a couple of doors for what I wanted. Another job to add to the to-do list. Oh dear. Well, I didn't get as much as I wanted to do the other day, but I did build a new compost bay. So I came in this morning and I've grabbed a load of wood chips, Well, it's mainly clippings and some wood chips mixed together. Wood chips and branches and things. But that's fine to go at the bottom of the compost bay. So that's done. And then I can add leaves and then layer more leaves and brown stuff, whatever I can get hold of. Right, the leaves are in. That's all the green leaves that I could get. So we've got about 40 centimeters up the bay, so that's fine. The next layer to go is this half broken down clippings, and these are all conifer clippings, so that will go on top of here. It's getting dark, so I'll try and get as much of it done as possible and do what I can, but it'll probably be too dark to record anything afterwards, so it'll be tomorrow, and I might finish the job off tomorrow depending on how far I get.